Timber by Kyle W. Let's begin. We like to deceive ourselves with what we think we know, never questioning if the stories have a chance to be true. I found that monster on that fateful night when it changed my life and offered only plight. The full moon was shining, forest air cool and crisp. Not a bird was singing, cloud cover only in a wisp. I had been out camping with friends, a colt and mare, on the edge of Everfree, stupidly, without care. I was gathering firewood from the wooded thick, when I heard a strange noise, as if the trees themselves would click. I was partly nervous, but imagination it was all, not at the time knowing I was already in the beast's thrall. I returned to the camp, the wood strapped to my back. It was getting late, and my thoughts began to lack. As I started the fire, and we all sat by, we talked and sang for hours, till the fire began to die. We entered the tent and went to bed. With false security I lay down my head. I was awoken at an hour to the smell of something foul. A warm liquid dripped upon my head. Then I heard a low growl. My eyes shot open just in time to see jagged wooded teeth as if from a tree. It stared at me frozen, but I could feel its warm air. I jumped back startled, breaking the beast's stare. Remembering my friends, I looked for where they were. The commotion of this monster was causing them to stir. Gathering my senses, I knew what it was. It was a vicious timber wolf, yet not doing as one does. I heard the colt awaken, then a terrored scream. The sound surprised the wolf, or at least that's what it seemed. It tore from the tent as the mare awoke. We all were stunned and silent. For a while no pony spoke. I heard from the near forest several howls ringing out, then the sound of clicking as other timber wolves moved about. They ripped into the tent, then covered the walls with red. My company was slain, and I too would soon be dead. I was able to dash out of a hole in the tent wall, and saw the road to Ponyville was thick with those that appall. I had to run to the forest, this option not that great, but might spare me from these jaws of hate. I heard them coming for me, their claws raking the ground. They were getting closer, so I dare not turn around. I stumbled and fell, rolling into a slight cave, and I knew it was quite likely that this would be my grave. I felt some tainted joy as the wolves continued running past, but then one didn't, and the happiness did not last. Stopped running so close to where I lay that I could smell it breathing, scent of rotten decay. The sound of other wolves had long since gone by. I knew this one saw me, this I could not deny. Turned its head to face me, and I could see each glowing eye. I expected not what happened, for it began to cry. I knew it not possible, but the creature spoke, its voice not meant to do so, for it came out in a croak. "I am not a monster," the strange thing had said. "Have you ever wondered what happens to those the force claims as dead?" I still was frozen, paralyzed by each word. "What I am is not by choice, and not what I'd have preferred. The force claimed my life." Its voice getting distressed. "Where do the souls go of those not laid to rest? The tree bodies hold them, but cannot hold their mind. I do not know why I still have these memories I can find. I was once an earth pony, much like you are, coming about a fire with friends as it would char. But then, one night, it happened, all my friends were killed. None of us ever had a proper burial fulfilled. I found myself no longer shaking, feeling pain for what I'd learned, but with all that happened, more knowledge still I yearned. "What is your name?" I asked in self-surprise, but the wolf's attention snapped away towards my oncoming demise. The other wolves returning, just shells of who they were, and though what had happened I knew, death I'd not deter. I tried to run away, but my leg's pain was too great. I just closed my eyes, shutting out impending fate. The next sound I heard was a shrill yelp. I quickly turned to see the lone wolf had chose to help. I clawed at the ground as I dragged myself away. Then the sun shone across the ground as Celestia made it day. The wolves stopped their fighting and turned forceward to flee, leaving only the one who limped over to me. There, once elegant creature, now had cracks and splinters all about, and from deep jagged wounds a yellow liquid was oozing out. It got within a yard or so, found I was the one to cry. The creature seemed aware that soon it was to die. "But why do you not heal?" I said in a sorrowed shout. "Other ponies say you can reconstruct in the stories they tell about." "We hunt during the night, for in day we meet our fate. I will not survive that long, and fear it is too late." I struggled, not knowing what to feel, when the creature said, "My name was Carol Bell, and I ask you, remember it after I'm dead." I lay with the dying wolf, despite being told to go, till her breath stopped coming, and eyes would no longer glow. Still I stayed with her on the now bright day, until medical ponies arrived, and forcefully took me away. When I woke next I felt no pain, but from the heart, and I remembered my campmates as they were torn apart. I called a mare over to ask the way in which they'd been dealt, but when she told of no bodies, the comment worsened what I felt. I lay discomfort each day until the next week I was let out. I now had a mission and started asking about. Each day I went at it, and finally a single mare did not respond to my questions. With just a confused stare, she let me in her house, my questions obviously leaving her shocked, when from a chest she pulled an old dusty book. The elderly gray mare gave a tear from her eye before finally asking me the simple question, "Why?" "I need to know more," I cried, as feelings began to stir. "Carol saved my life, and I owe it to her." The mare seemed fazed, but questioned not my word. I couldn't help but wonder how she'd taken what she had heard. She put the book on the table, then showed me the spot, picture of a beautiful green mare who had long since been forgot. Carol Bell and two friends were camping at sunset. Look, when they met, tragic ends. The article's words left me daunted, but the damn thing had given me what I had wanted. I thanked the mare and took my leave, but the sad mare stopped me, for I had something to receive. I thanked her and parted, walking into the heart of day. I knew what was needed and could not delay. It was around 2 when I reached Sunset Look. I was searching about, and with sadness I shook. After an hour I spotted my sad prize, for I found the spot Caroline had met her demise. I stood there before what of her remained. The lonely skeleton left me quite pained. The sound of movement snapped away feelings distraught, but the source made me question what I thought. Timberwolf was approaching, filled with familiar scars. Carol was living, as a blessing from the stars. I buried your friends, her voice came out strained, but can't touch my own body, and that left me pained. I've come to do it for you, I said with a choke. I'm so sorry what happened. Tears formed in her eyes as I spoke. After a while, I dug a proper hole, one to be used to finally put down that soul. With the bones inside it, the grave welcomed what it would be, when I remembered the item the old mare gave to me. I pulled out a locket that shone in the day, an image of Carol would be by where she lay. By the time she was buried, I was thrown into fright, for now we were alone here in fast approaching night. The wood body of Carol fell to the ground, replaced by a green mare from which light shone around. The beautiful mare from the picture started drifting away towards the dirt grave where she would lay. She turned to look at me, tear blossomed from her eyes. Her words, "Thank you so much," caused me to cry. I was joyous, yet confused at what I could now see, for what I'd assumed was not how it'd be. I thought my actions would lay her to rest, but the logic I formed began to contest. Instead of disappearing, she was here to stay, but when she came back to living, 'twas after the death of the day. She seemed as surprised and started questioning, but got lost as something hit her gaze. I turned to view what she was seeing. When I saw it, I was filled with dread, for where she just come from was no longer dead. Still cannot remember quite how we got away, but I write this in your memory, for memories of you I'd replay. We lived there after, together, till I lost you to old age. I am struggling without you, so I put my mind upon this page. I don't regret any pain, or what I've gone through, but wait for and welcome death, to once again be there with you. That was Timber by Kyle W. Until next time, see ya.